it's Nicole Semeka. Today we're going to be talking to some great documentarians on the red carpet for Emmy's Doc Night, day 3 of the Emmy Palooza. Let's see what happens. Oh gosh. Holy cow. Hello, I am here with...
David Shirker.
Amazing.
Was I supposed to do more than
No, that's all good. What's your involvement tonight?
I produced a package for Sam Pollard's Lifetime Achievement Award. He was a mentor to me. He taught me in college and made my career. I wouldn't have the career I have without him, and it was a big honor that he would ask for me to contribute to the creation of the package to honor him and his lifetime in film.
What was it like going from being him being this mentor to you to then creating this package for him? How did that shift your relationship with him, and how was that experience for you?
It was a bit of a surprise initially because most of my background is in editing and post-production management. So to dive into a more producer role was new for me, and it was exciting and also a bit terrifying because it was very high stakes because I wanted to do his career justice, and it was a lot of very tricky rights navigating, but I think it really represented to me how much Sam trusted me and believed in me, and that meant a lot to me, and I feel it deepened our relationship even further than it was before.
Amazing, congratulations.
Thank you very much. Thank you for your time on this.
Yeah,
I look forward to everyone being able to see it and see how prolific and how much of an impact Sam has had on this industry.
Amazing, thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, can you talk a little bit about your film and your role in the film and introduce yourselves?
We are the co-directors, and this is the subject, James Baylog, Sarah Keogh, and Jeff Orlowski-Yang,
For Chasing Time.
working on a film, Chasing Time. And so we did a 15-year documentation of glaciers all around the world using time-lapse photography and revealing the direct evidence of climate change.
How did you first approach that story? I mean, 15 years is a long time. That's kind of an overwhelming undertaking.
Well, we never thought it was going to go that long. You know, it just kind of grew organically. It was originally supposed to be 3 summers and 2 winters. And one thing led to the next. The evidence was so compelling. The momentum of history and nature just kind of pulled the whole thing along. And it amazed me that it went on for so long.
Yeah, that's awesome. Natus is launching a First Amendment initiative tonight. What does press freedom mean to you personally, not just professionally?
It's vital that we have press freedom. It's vital that we tell the truth of what's going on in the world, and we're not being swayed and distorted by falsehoods. And there's a lot of falsehoods floating around in the world right now, and they're serving the interests of politicians, of corporations, who have a vested interest of various kinds in distorting the nature of reality as we know it. So I believe it's unbelievably important that these documentaries keep telling the story in a truthful way.
Amazing. Do you have any advice for aspiring journalists and young filmmakers out there?
Oh, wow. You know, if you trust your instincts as a storyteller, the personal stories, Chasing Time is really a reflection about James's legacy and, you know, him confronting his mortality as he's also watching the ice disappear. And so that's what we really thought was the heart of the film, and telling climate stories was the personal really is relatable and human and helps us to understand what role we can play to get involved with the climate movement.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
That was amazing. Yeah. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah. Hello.
Good to
I'm
see
good.
you.
How are you?
I'm good. What's going on?
Congratulations
Thank you.
on
Thrilled to be
the
here.
honoring. Yes.
Yeah.
Could you just introduce yourself for the camera and a
Sure,
big summary?
Yeah, RJ Cutler. I got a medal. I got a silver medal, Silver Circle medal for 25 years of silver circleness.
Heck yeah, all the above. What's your favorite part of the process? Do you have a favorite role that you step
Filmmaking?
into? Yeah.
I kind of love it all, to be honest. You know, it's amazing to have the chance to float into people's worlds and lives and see these extraordinary people who I've had the opportunity to make movies about, you know, from Billie Eilish and Elton John to... I love it all. I love it. I love sharing the movies, being in a theater. Nothing's better than being in a theater, right? So, like that.
Indeed. How do you plan these amazing documentaries? Is there a lot that happens in the editing
You know
room?
how you plan it with the help of a lot of amazing collaborators, a lot of really gifted artists, producers, fellow filmmakers who you get to work with. And since you asked the question, what's my favorite part of the process? That's really it. Working with the people I've had an incredible, great good fortune to work with through my career.
Amazing. Thank you so much and congratulations.
Thanks. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Hello, I'm here with Alex Gibney, director. I mean, how are you feeling on this red carpet right now?
Feeling good. Nice to be recognized.
Yes, of
And
course.
it's, you get here as a nominee, everything else is gravy.
Indeed. How do you approach a story, especially the stories being highlighted tonight? How did you approach originally?
I mean, I think you approach a story by digging in and wondering, is this a story worth telling? And even if it's about a big or complicated or weighty topic, it's not going to work as a movie unless it's a powerful story. And so that's number one. And then you have to think, is this a story that's worth me spending a year or more of my time on? And then is this a story that's going to resonate with the viewers, who are actually the people that we're doing this for? So all those things go into that decision.
How does that relate to nonfiction filmmaking as a whole in a time like this, how important it is?
Nonfiction filmmaking at this time is critically important. We're sliding into authoritarian rule, and a nonfiction filmmaking can hold the powerful to account. What's the old expression? Comfort the afflicted and afflict the comfortable.
It's a great quote. Natus is launching their First Amendment initiative tonight.
Good.
Was there a time in any film that you've made where you felt like the First Amendment was the only thing protecting you?
I think it's an important idea, but it's only an idea, and it's only going to protect us as long as we defend that protection. And so, a lot of what I'm here tonight for is a doc called The Dark Money Game, which is how big money tries to corrupt the government to serve powerful interests instead of the interests of the people. So without the First Amendment allowing us to tell those stories and preventing the government from squelching them, we're in a lot of trouble.
Amazing. Congratulations. Thank you so much.
All right. Take care.
You.
Good luck. Thanks, man.
Could you introduce yourselves and why you're here, just for the camera?
I'm Opal Hope Bennett, senior producer for POV, EP for POV Shorts.
I'm Chris White, executive producer for POV.
I'm Erica Dilday, executive producer for POV, and we are here because we have been nominated as a show for 7 Emmys.
Congratulations. Woo! That's a big number. Are you feeling the pressure tonight?
We're feeling zen. We're feeling the warmth of everyone around us. We know that everyone is winners, though some may be more than others, and, we're just feeling calm. We had a lot to get here tonight, but we're zen now.
I'd add that we're just feeling in a celebratory mood. We're excited to connect with our filmmakers more than anything.
It's always a beautiful night when everybody gets together, can dress up, can celebrate the work, and that's what we're here to do.
Yeah, tonight's a day of full of celebration. So Natus just launched a First Amendment initiative, and so based off of that, was there a time in your filmmaking histories that you felt like the First Amendment was the only thing protecting you and your story?
It's a good question. I came from journalism to documentary, and it was always very front of mind for me. And I think I felt it more with the filmmakers that we work with, particularly those that are bringing unheard stories and truth to power that may not be popular. So I do feel that it is very important to the work that we do collectively and to a lot of the films that we have.
Yeah, I would just add that the filmmakers we work with are independent filmmakers. They're not underwritten by corporate sponsorship. They are chasing stories because they're passionate about them. And so these are the representation of the First Amendment through long-form documentary. So very proud to be in that space.
100%. I agree with all that they said.
Amazing. If you had one sentence takeaway from your nominated piece tonight, for viewers of it, what would it be?
POV films are important.
So there are 5 different films, 5 or 6 different films, but I would say these are human stories. They're about you and me.
Yeah, I think I would say it's important to reflect the world around you and to herald unheard voices.
Amazing. Thank you so much. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Could you just introduce yourself for the camera? You have a lot of achievements, but if you could say it in a couple sentences, how would you highlight it?
Well, let's see. My name is Sally Jo Pfeiffer, and I was the president and CEO of Independent Lens. And ITVS is a miracle, actually. The indie filmmakers organized in the 1980s, and they actually had Congress set aside a fund to participate in this magnificent thing called public television, which brings all Americans to all Americans, representing, the stories that you don't hear on commercial television. And it was just the honor of my life to work with these filmmakers who brought every story that from all parts of the country, and all of the amazing fabric of our country is always so stunning to be a part of that, storytelling.
For sure. Natus is launching a First Amendment initiative tonight. What was the first time where you were made aware of how important the First Amendment was for your career and your stories?
I think the thing that is so powerful when you see independent filmmakers making their stories is they go deep and wide in their communities, and they bring those stories forward in a way that gives the people in those communities agency, actually. So you see voice and agency connected. So when you have the freedom to tell your story, and we all can stand on a street corner and get it told, or now on social media, but actually having people hear your story and listen to your story, that's why public media is so important.
Definitely. Do you have a final word of advice for younger filmmakers, younger journalists out there starting out?
I think that passion is something you just hang on to. And there's something about that I notice with independent filmmakers who hold on to that passion. They're making this story for themselves, but they're actually making this story for the people they're telling their story about. And when you have that, you're holding that quality, that generosity to support someone else's story, and it's your responsibility. You cannot think about yourself anymore, but you're in this other strata of storytelling. And so I would say hold on to that with all your might. Yeah.
Amazing. Thank you so much. Congratulations. Could you introduce your film and your roles on the film?
So the film we did is a short documentary called Heist. And Sally Unger, executive producer. David Cowan, producer. Eileen Kristen, producer. And federal workers. What did you guys do? What did you guys do?
I still work at the NIH. I worked as a contract for USAID. I'm also a U.S. Army veteran.
I was a USAID employee.
Amazing. Could we talk about our glittery signs today and explain the meaning of them and how it relates to the importance of filmmaking these days?
Can you repeat that again?
Yes. Could we talk about the signs and maybe show them off a little bit? Yes.
What do the signs mean, guys?
The signs.
A sign for me means that I was fired, I was rehired, which shows that I'm still here. They have done so much to federal workers. They have tried to bring us down. They have, we have gone through so much trauma, which was the point. Russ Post said that he wanted to traumatize federal workers. He wanted us to not want to come to work. But I am still going to work because I'm here to serve the American people. I'm not here to serve Donald Trump.
Yeah, and it's a sign that shows I'm proud of the agency I worked with, the work that we did.
And so I'm not a federal worker, but I helped organize. So for over a year, every Tuesday, fired federal workers have gone to the Senate. They've done the sit-ins. They've looked people like Bill Cassidy in the eye and said, you hurt people and you need to fix it. And it's been really powerful working every week with the people that they decided after they were hurt to keep serving America. Every time they went to the Senate, every time they demand did not just their jobs back, but the services. It's to help people, and it's to consider that service a government. The people like Elon Musk and Donald Trump could never. They're literally pilfering our government and killing people instead of just doing the basics.
Yeah, amazing. Could I ask, are the filmmakers? Could I ask you, how does this important story relate to overall nonfiction filmmaking in today's world?
I mean, this is a verite account of what's happening in real time. It's an unusual film in that when it was happening, Rebecca and Eileen went into the streets, immediately started filming, and edited the story in less than 2 months, which is unheard of in all the movies that you're going to hear about today, because we wanted to get the story out to Americans in real time. That's a very unusual thing to find. A movie that's made, it's shot, edited, and immediately released on YouTube where everybody can see it, because this film hopefully will have an impact and let Americans know what was taken from them.
Yeah. Can I ask about the first, Natus is launching a First Amendment initiative tonight. How does that, when you were creating this short, did you feel like the First Amendment was protecting you? Like, were there times where that was the only thing you felt like was protecting you?
Luckily, we're in the state of New York that has the strongest protections, right? Other states that I've worked in, they don't have journalistic protections. Also, the media itself is capitulating. No one wants to touch stories that challenge or that are, what's that word? We can't touch it, it's just too tricky. No, this is the most controversial time in our country, and we need other broadcasters to support controversial topics, not just true crime and celebrity documentaries, although I love them. But we need an equal balance. So we took it upon ourselves, we did it on donations only, because we knew no one would give us any money to make this film. And we had to get down and cover it, because forgetting the movie aspect of it, it's a document of a time that really happened. This really happened to people. And if we didn't film it, it would just be like spot news. No one would really know that it really happened here, but it did.
And we knew we had to archive it, even if we didn't end up making a film. We knew we had to get it on record. And quite honestly, when we got there, there were no news crews really covering this thing, but no one seemed to care.
The feds just get it done, right? They don't go on the news, they don't make themselves, they just get the job done. So we take it for granted. We really don't know in what ways they affect our lives. So when you lose them, you don't know. It takes a year or two to find out. So Heist is on YouTube for free for all Americans. Heist the documentary. .film is our website, and get to know what federal workers do and how they've been targeted and desecrated and treated terribly, and they don't deserve it, and Congress better step up.
Yeah, I just want to add that this.
Okay. Sorry. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Oh, I feel a lot better. Are you sure? I feel a lot better.
Do you want to take a minute?
No, I felt a lot better when I was.
Sure?
Yeah. No, I promise. I promise.
Can we get you water or something? The Emmy board and the Emmy Foundation. I'm stepping in for Nicole. She's got a wardrobe malfunction. Hopefully that doesn't happen to you.
It's a shoulder strap incident. I get it.
Don't you hate when that happens?
I really do.
What's the plan for tonight? Well, first off, what is your favorite documentary? If you had to name.
Favorite.
Okay. All right.
Because I watched this with my daughter.
Okay.
And she was, I don't know, probably 10 or 11 at the time.
Okay.
We watched the documentary, and I wish I could remember the name of it, but it was about how the computer ended up beating the Go master.
I know what you're talking about.
Yes, it was the first time that AI had been deployed to beat Go,
Yes.
which is more complicated than chess. And that got both of us interested in the Go board for me for Christmas. We played about 3 times, and that was the end of Go.
So documentaries have had a big impact on your life. I can tell. So tell me, what's the importance of documentaries, especially in a time like this? I know that you're very attuned to the news, given the show that you have on CNN.
Oh, the Alex Honnold.
Yes.
How am I going to forget the Alex Honnold documentary?
That was killer. Didn't you notice when you were watching that you were pacing the room? Even though you know he's not going to die.
It was the most stressful piece of film I think I've ever watched. Even though, like you said, he's going to be fine.
Right.
They wouldn't have released it otherwise.
I think I sweated more than he sweated.
Oh, it's just a brutal watch.
It's brutal, but the guy's amazing.
Amazing.
Okay, but anyway, so you at CNN, obviously, you have the show. It's very timely. You pay close attention to the news. What's the value of documentaries in a time like this?
Documentaries can accomplish different things. The first thing they can accomplish, obviously, is give us an insight into maybe more complicated issues and stories that we could get in, let's say, a 10-minute piece on 60 Minutes or something. So they illuminate things for us that maybe were a little bit shrouded. They can also bring bias, but I mean that in a good way. If you're an advocate for something, and you can create an example of this is An Inconvenient Truth. You know, that is a documentary with a perspective and a bias, and very helpful and very good. And then obviously that can go the other way too, as in What is a Woman, that ludicrous thing.
Yes.
But the format, the genre, is invaluable. I mean, it's as invaluable as nonfiction books.
Yeah, good point. It feels like this is the golden age of documentaries too, because there's so many outlets for them now, right?
Yeah, we're lucky. I mean, the media landscape in general is terrible. Everybody understands that. However, for the documentarian, and I am not one, so they may scream at me for saying this, the barrier to entry has never been lower. So, for example, you can make a documentary and throw it on YouTube. And I've seen a lot of them on YouTube, and some of them are really good. Is it putting money in the documentarians' pockets? Probably not. But the story's getting out, the message is getting out, and I feel like there are other outlets like YouTube where even if you can't get proper distribution, you can at least get it seen, and that's important.
Yeah. What should folks expect tonight while they're watching on YouTube?
I think they can probably expect documentarians to be nominated and win Emmy Awards.
Safe bet.
So it's a safe bet. Plus, jokes by yours truly.
Oh, we can't wait. Thank you so much, Michael. Appreciate it. Good to see you. Thanks.
Could you introduce yourself and why you're here?
My name is Mars Ferrone. I'm the producer of Union.
I'm Samantha Curley. I'm also a producer on Union.
I'm Brett Story. I'm a director of Union.
I'm Steve Mang, and I'm a director of Union.
Could you give a 2-sentence synopsis of it? Who wants to take it?
Sure. Yeah, Union is a film that documents and chronicles the struggle of Amazon workers at a facility in Staten Island to successfully form the very first unionized Amazon workplace in America.
How did you tackle such an all-encompassing topic and create such a focused story? What was the process like?
I mean, in the beginning, it was just spending a lot of time at the tent, which was staged by the bus stop. And so at one point, after like a few hundred days, we just thought maybe we should just call this the tent because of how much important conversation and just, camaraderie was being built there. But it was a lot of collaboration between our team and their team.
How many days were you out there filming? You said 100 and something days?
It was about like 300 days by the end.
Was there a lot that was cut out? Was there something that you're sad didn't make the final cut?
We had over 800 hours of footage, so there's a lot that was cut out. If you want to speak to anything you were particularly sad about.
I mean, when you're working on a film, you get attached to a lot of the footage. This is one of the struggles, and we had the honor of just being, privy to this incredible group of people try to do this mammoth thing that no one expected them to succeed at. So I feel like we were very attached to lots of moments of people connecting, moments where people convinced someone to vote yes for the union, moments where someone who felt like alone felt like they were connecting to another human being who had their back. So it was a little bit heartbreaking to cut everything.
Natus is launching a First Amendment initiative tonight. As it relates to the First Amendment, was there a time where you felt like that was the only thing protecting you, or where did you discover the importance of the First Amendment with this?
I mean, we worked super closely with our legal partners at Reporters Committee, and they were, I think, vital partners for us to work through this kind of story, which, is unlike others because it's, essentially challenging a $1 trillion company with unlimited resources. So it was really important for us to lean into First Amendment rights.
Thank you so much. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Thank you. For everyone else, could you introduce yourself and your involvement tonight?
Sure. My name is M. Douglas Silverstein, or M, and I'm a
Emmy Award-winning documentary director and a 5-time nominated producer. I am here to support other filmmakers, and I have many friends who are here. I'm really honored to be a part of this year's ceremonies because I think some of the films are so incredibly vital. They are speaking to the stories of, of voices that huge governments, huge corporations are trying to crush, and they refuse to be defeated, whether that's politically, whether that's environmental journalism, whether that is taking a look back on some of the biggest natural disasters and how these events, both the big disasters and in politics, some of the big disasters, how they were handled and what we can learn from them. Because the promise of the documentary is not just a captivating story, it's unique access to a rarefied world, and then hopefully you can learn, feel, and educate, other people about these important stories.
For sure. How does the wide variety of nominees attest to the importance of freedom of speech in this world? And yeah.
That's a really good question. I think really because it's a testament really to Natus and to the Emmys that they are willing to recognize, not just cookie cutter stories, not just the same old thing. So there are stories in the feature category, for example, that clearly have smaller budgets, and then there's the giant corporations that have huge budgets. And what Natus and the Emmys are doing really well, in my opinion, is you need the courage and the bravery to not give a blank, a boop, to do it. Because without bravery, none of these stories would be told. Bye, Emma.
Okay, so we're the producers of
Sunday Best, The Untold Story of Ed Sullivan.
Ed Sullivan, and Ed Sullivan was a champion for all black people because he was the first person to put black people on his television show to make them, to popularize them in this civil rights era when no black people were on television. So go ahead.
Yeah. Well, I think Carrie and I also have a very special relationship because Carrie is the son of Berry Gordy, and I'm the granddaughter of Ed Sullivan. And the Motown Ed Sullivan show had a very special connection.
Yeah.
So you want to?
Yeah. So so without Ed Sullivan, you would not know Michael Jackson on the Jackson 5. You would not know the Supremes, the Temptations, Stevie Wonder. Okay, can you imagine? He popularized them because he loved what we did so much that he was like, you know what, you guys are welcome to come on my show. Because he picked every single artist that went on his show, handpicked them by himself.
How was the process creating it with the personal connections that you have to the story?
Well, I think you really, for me, it was kind of a love story to my grandfather because there was a lot about his legacy that most people were never aware of. So, that was wonderful. And then to be able to work with Carrie, who has such a great connection with Motown music, that, it was just very much a symbiotic relationship.
Yeah, and I love the banter between you guys. Is it just like smiles all the time?
We're great friends, and we took something from an idea into something that is actually nominated for an Emmy Award,
which is very incredible. We're
amazing.
so honored. Really, really honored.
And I'm so thrilled with this woman because she's the one who hired me. So I can't be more. I'm the luckiest man in the world.
I had an A-list crew with me. That is for sure. Producers and editors and directors. Actually, our director passed away before it premiered on Netflix, and so just this nomination, this honor, we really dedicated to him because we miss him a lot.
Yes, Sasha Jenkins.
Yeah.
Yes.
Did I not say his?
You said we had this director.
Oh. Well, thank you for filling in.
Yes.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Yeah.
Thank you for talking to me.
All right.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you
so much.
Congrats. Could you introduce yourself and what brought you here tonight?
Yeah. I'm Wendy Benchley, and it was my husband who 52 years ago, wrote Jaws, the novel. And thank heavens for Steven Spielberg, who did the fabulous, magnificent film of it. So we're thrilled to be here tonight because Jaws at 50, the complete inside story, is up with a nomination. And Laurent Bouzereau was the director, the fabulous, talented director. So, you know, whether we win or not, it's really exciting to be here and to be part of all of these documentaries and these fascinating, creative people.
Amazing. So you've been a part of many creative processes. Oh, that's okay.
Okay.
You've been a part of many iconic creative processes. I mean, what's your favorite part of it all?
Yeah, boy. I must say that doing this documentary was very fulfilling for me because Peter and I worked for 30 years together on ocean conservation, and then I carried on when he died. And it was really wonderful to have so many families coming up to me and saying, oh, you know, third generation watching Jaws. We love it. We've learned so much about sharks that Jaws really jump-started interest in sharks. It got shark research going. And I can't tell you the number of letters that Peter received where young people or even middle-aged people wanted to be a marine biologist because of Jaws. So it was very fulfilling to have this happen and to see what a difference there is now in the attitude about sharks and the ocean. I think people really understand how important they are.
Yeah, stories are powerful.
Yeah,
Heck
stories
yeah.
are powerful. Yeah, they sure are. So I feel, you know, it's just lovely to be part of this whole creative group.
Yeah, thank you so much. Amazing. Congratulations.
Thank you very much. I'm really thrilled. Thrilled. We'll see. Anyway, it's fun. Thanks.
Yeah, that's it for us on the red carpet. Thank you to all of our guests for speaking to us tonight. And thank you to Michael Ian Black for hosting tonight. And shout out to Jeremy for stepping in for a little bit. You can watch the rest of the Emmys here on YouTube.
Silence isn't truth, and as years pass, the silence be louder. Challenged by time, memory is imperfect, but it matters who pressed the shutter, not just for one with its legacy, but for what it says about who gets remembered and who gets erased.
Yeah, sure.
You never know what will happen in your life.
Tôi rất là xúc động.
And I was overwhelmed. The true story.
But I'm willing to take risks to live a full life.
So much more beautiful than I could have imagined.
And overcome obstacles.
To find a place in the world that perpetually rejects them.
I didn't really know how much time I had.
It's raining like paper. It's like snowing paper.
Я очень переживаю.
And to understand this universe is to understand the scandal.
And I think we just displayed what we're made of, and what we're made of is compassion and empathy and a real drive to do things for others.
Wrong way, mate. Spin that round. You get it?
The movie that I thought would really end my career is the film that began it.
Welcome to the 47th Annual News and Documentary Emmy Awards, Documentary Night, live from Jazz at Lincoln Center in New York City. Please welcome your host for the evening, Michael Ian Black.
Good evening. Hi there. Hi. Thank you all so much for being here. I'm so excited to host the documentary portion of the News and Documentary Emmys. What an honor it is to be with all of you here tonight, celebrating your amazing work this past year. I am Michael Ian Black. You may know me from CNN's Have I Got News for You? Thank you so much. Along with my colleagues Roy Wood Jr. and Amber Ruffin. And interestingly, we are all hosting Emmys ceremonies this week. They had Roy host the Sports Emmys, because he's super into sports. They had Amber host the News Emmys, because she always wants to know what's going on. And they had me host the Documentary Emmys, because I'm boring. I didn't know how that was going to go over. I had no idea. I thought, are they going to get offended? Probably. I'll say it. I actually have a long history with documentaries. A lot of people don't know this. I'm actually one of the kids from Hoop Dreams. I have aged. Also, a quick message to everyone working the event this year, the ushers, the waitstaff, the production crew. Remember, these are documentarians, so when they ask you where the bathroom is, please repeat the full question back to them so it works in the edit. I am really, oh, you guys. I'm awed by the talent in this room, and I am really so thrilled to be hosting this event because this ceremony is one of the only places that still celebrates the pursuit of truth. It's one of the only places that rewards complexity and nuance, and it's one of the only places where PBS is considered powerful. Later on tonight, we're going to be giving our Lifetime Achievement Award to Sam Pollard. Sam Pollard, as you know, is a legend. He's a director, an editor, a prolific producer. He's Oscar nominated. He's won Emmys and Peabodys for his films about Sammy Davis Jr., Shirley Chisholm, Josephine Baker, August Wilson. Lincoln Center said he was among cinema's most dedicated chroniclers of the Black experience in America. He's even worked on Eyes on the Prize, one of the most frequently screened documentaries in American high schools, making him not only a great director, but also the patron saint of hungover ninth grade history teachers. Nominated tonight are several extremely powerful documentaries commemorating the 20th anniversary of Hurricane Katrina. It's crazy to think that was 20 years ago. 20 years ago, I mean, 20 years ago, we had an unpopular president who got us into a war in the Middle East. Gas prices were sky high, and people were rushing out to see The Devil Wears Prada. My God, have times have changed. The filmmakers here tonight never shy away from hard stories, and this year was no different. The subjects you tackled in these films were difficult: hurricanes, shooters, car bombs, and those are just Kash Patel's drink orders. Yeah! There are so many great nature documentaries nominated tonight. Films about penguins, sharks, rhinos, mountain lions, and that's just RFK Jr.'s brunch order. Yeah! And I heard the makers of the Mr. Rogers documentary are working on a brand new film. This one is about Stephen Miller. It's called Won't You Deport My Neighbor? The documentaries we're honoring tonight run the gamut when it comes to subject matter, from human misery during wartime, to human misery during natural disasters, to human misery during the making of Jaws. I mean, there has to be one just genuinely nice, feel-good movie nominated tonight. I do have a list of the nominees. I'm just gonna... Here's one. All right, here's one. Up for Outstanding Short Documentary, The Quilters. Pleasant film about quilting. Let me read the synopsis. This documentary short, I'm listening, follows a men's quilting group. I like it. Surely this won't take a dark turn. Inside a maximum security prison. God damn it! Of course, it's not your job to make people feel good. That's what AI videos of 100 Darth Vaders fighting 1,000 Shreks are for. It's your job to make bold, daring films that expose hard truths, ask difficult questions, and hold the powerful to account, all while being extremely entertaining, and that's what every one of tonight's nominees have done. But I will say that at a time when truth can be hard to come by, more people are watching documentaries now than ever before. In fact, 78% of people say they have watched one or more documentaries in the past year. And sure, I just made that number up, but it feels true, and either way, ChatGPT told me I was very smart for saying it. Oh, by the way, the producers have asked me to say that in honor of the late, great Frederick Wiseman, please, in honor of Fred, please keep your acceptance speeches to under 7 hours. But seriously, we ask that you keep your acceptance speeches to 30 seconds, just a short 30 seconds of content, and that way Netflix can come in, add a bunch of B-roll to it, and stretch it to 3 one-hour episodes. Of course, when it comes to documentaries, the flashiest documentary of the year was Amazon's release of Melania, a film critics called shallow, sycophantic, vapid, and a film I called "Fuck You." No, I didn't see Melania because I didn't have any interest. It reportedly cost $40 million to make. $40 million. To put that in terms this room understands, take the budget of the last documentary you made and add $40 million to it. Again, I didn't see Melania because I had no interest and I despise her, but if someone in this room wants to make a film about the making of Melania, I will watch that shit forever. On a serious note, I know that it has never been more precarious to be a filmmaker who cares about telling the truth than it is today. And I know there's a lot of uncertainty, both in the world, but also in our business right now, and all of that will still be true tomorrow. But for tonight, I want you to sit back, enjoy yourself, take in a little of that hot documentarian eye candy. I'm looking at you, Simon Schama. And know that you're here tonight because you're the best at what you do, and what you do deserves to be celebrated. We have a wonderful show for you here tonight. We've got great presenters. We've got our Lifetime Achievement Award, the presentation of a scholarship to a very deserving recipient, and most importantly, we'll be together here tonight celebrating an art form we all love that is more vital than ever. So let's get started with our first award of the night.
The nominees in Outstanding Promotional Announcement Documentary are Chris Hemsworth, A Road Trip to Remember, National Geographic, Love and War, National Geographic, Nature Season 44, Nature, PBS, Race Against Time, Hurricane Katrina, Race Against Time, National Geographic, In Waves and War, Actual Films, Netflix.
And the Emmy goes to Chris Hemsworth, A Road Trip to Remember, National Geographic.
Accepting the Emmy, senior writer and producer David Numbers.
You stand over there and film me.
My dad and I are going on a road trip.
No, wrong way, mate. Spin that round.
Back into our past.
This is the opening titles to the greatest film ever made. National Geographic presents Chris Hemsworth
And Craig Hemsworth.
my dad. You get it?
He has early stage Alzheimer's. I want to do everything that I can to help him.
Thank you so much. I want to thank the Academy. I want to thank our incredible marketing team at Nat Geo, Kendra, Nicole, Tyler, James, Brian, Mariano. I want to thank Dylan and Joel, our partners at Matic, who expertly crafted this trailer, De Facto Sound. And on a quick personal note, after Dylan, Joel, and I finished this project, without talking to each other, each of us planned our own trips with our dads. And I think that that just speaks to the power of a good story and the effect that it can have and how special this one was and how much it affected us. This is a real honor. Thank you so much.
The nominees in Outstanding Graphic Design Documentary are Antidote Kill List, Frontline Features, PBS, The Gilgo Beach Killer, House of Secrets, Texas Crew Productions, The Ride Ahead, Like Right Now Films, PBS, Titanic, The Digital Resurrection, Atlantic Productions, Underdogs, Wild Star Films, In Waves and War, Studio AKA Netflix.
Do you know how exciting it is to get to open one of these envelopes? So exciting. And the Emmy goes to In Waves and War, Studio AKA iNetflix.
Accepting the Emmy, VFX producer Nikki Kefford.
I saw it. Group of people, one of them starts to walk away. Oh, it was like looking in a mirror. He's staring at me, and I'm staring back at him, and it just did that over and over and over until I would throw up.
Thank you, thank you. What an incredible honour it is to be here. I'm Nikki Kefford, producer of the animated sequences, and here on behalf of Studio AKA. A little bit nervous, sorry. The directors, unfortunately, weren't able to be here, but they are back in London, and congrats, huge congrats to them. Marcus Armitage, Philip Hunt, Steve Small, and Gerge Woosh. This award actually doesn't only belong to us, it also belongs to John and Bonnie, John Shank, Bonnie Cohen from Actual Film, sorry, I'm really nervous. And I'm going to let him take over because I'm really nervous, sorry.
Congratulations, it's amazing. Thank you so much. It's such a deep honor. We wanted to honor DJ Shipley and Patsy Shipley are here tonight who generously told their story in Waves and War. And also Jess Anthony, Shiza Azakawa, and Kent McCleary, our supporters, our producer and supporters of the film. Thank you so much. It's such an honor.
Our next presenter is a world-renowned historian, nominated tonight for his work on Simon Schama, The Holocaust 80 Years On, which recently won the BAFTA for Best Specialist Documentary. Please welcome Simon Schama.
This is a great honor. This historian says
Documentary makers, my colleagues, you are needed more than ever. Our films live and die by the work of these next nominees. Art direction, lighting direction, sound and music. Art make or break for our work, often invisible to the viewer, but critical to a film's effectiveness. We've all been on set and worked with set decorators to create the perfect look, evoking exactly the right tone of warmth or menace or expertise. We've all been in an edit banging our heads against the wall to make a cut really work, only to realize that the perfect piece of score will solve 99% of our problems. Sure. The right set design, a crisp vocal record, or the exact right piece of music can elevate a film to new heights. And sometimes, if it's done right, it's invisible to the viewer, but to all of us people in this room, it couldn't be more important. That's why I'm really thrilled to help honor all those craftspeople tonight with the following awards.
The nominees in Outstanding Art Direction, Set Direction, Scenic Design, Documentary are The Gilgo Beach Killer, House of Secrets, Texas Crew Productions, One Night in Idaho, The College Murders, Story Syndicate, 1 to 1, John and Yoko, Plan B, KM Films, Sally, Muck Media, Songs from the Hole, Netflix.
And the Emmy goes to Songs from the Hole, Netflix.
Accepting the Emmy, art director, producer, and composer, Richie Reseda.
First of all, we started making this film in prison. I'm about to read because I can't really think. But I want to thank our manager and the EP of this music, Rahel Asphalt, as well as Question Culture, our team. First and foremost, our production team that includes David Felix Sutcliffe, our director, Contessa Gales, our co-producer, JJ88, our cast, Miles Lassiter, Devontae Orr, Jovan Times, Africa Turner, Ernest Walker, Riley Leggett, Kelly Evans, our crew, Michelle Kwong, Rafe Scobethal, Prince Hairston, Greg Chen, our music producers, Tyreek and Garfield, that are right here, our other music producer, Dylan Wiggins, everybody who funded this film. Y'all know who they are because they funded yours too. Thank you to Netflix for believing in us. Thank you to Contessa for believing in me in '88. We were two people in prison who had a dream. She made it come true. And to anybody who's watching this or who can see this from prison or from Palestine or from anywhere where your rights are being rejected on a day-to-day basis, stick in there. Your voice matters. Your art matters. We here.
The nominees in Outstanding Lighting Direction, Documentary are American Manhunt, Osama bin Laden, Netflix. Cold Case, The Tylenol Murders, Netflix. Hollywood Hustler, Glitz, Glam, Scam, Library Films. Lockerbie, The Bombing of Pan Am 103, Mindhouse Production. Turning Point, The Vietnam War, Netflix.
And the Emmy goes to Cold Case, The Tylenol Murders, Netflix.
Accepting the Emmy, Director of Photography, Jeff Hutchins.
Some of the capsules were out on the table. But what was unusual was that some of the capsules had brown rings.
All right, so don't take Tylenol. Thank you all very much. I just want to say thanks to our entire field crew, whose technical precision, artistry, and mastery of their craft made this possible. Thank you to Netflix for backing our series, and to our phenomenal directors and my good friends, Yotam Gwendelman and Ari Pines, for their creativity, tireless work ethic, and incredible vision. I want to thank our talented roster of EPs, Joe Berlinger, John Kamen, Craig Dentrone over at Radical, and Maor Azran, Dan Adler, Mika Timor, and MA Productions and Silvio for putting this all together and making the series happen. And lastly, I want to thank my partner, Jax. She knows how much I love my work as a cinematographer and how much time and energy and effort we all put into what we do. And I just want to say thanks to her for her love and support. Thank you.
The nominees in Outstanding Sound Documentary are Lost in the Jungle, Little Monster Films; Love and War, Little Monster Films; The Strike, UPHSF LLC; Survival of the Smartest, Secrets of the Penguins, Talesmith; Turning Point, The Vietnam War, Netflix; Underdogs, Wildstar Films; We Want the Funk, Independent Lens, PBS.
And the Emmy goes to Underdogs, Wildstar Film.
Accepting the Emmy, sound editor George Fry.
Thank you. First of all, massive honour to be here tonight, all the way from the UK, to represent the Underdog Sound team. I know most of them are at home watching on YouTube, so I'm going to have to shout them all out individually. The other sound editor, Roy Noy, Foley artist John Court, music editor Andy Patterson, Graham Wild, the mixer, and his team of Ollie Baldwin and Dan Brown. Most of these are watching, so hello! I'd like to thank everyone at Films at 59, but especially post-producer Kath Berry. She was always a voice of calm in a very challenging post-schedule. Finally, all the teams at Wildstar, Maximum Effort, and Nat Geo for trusting us to bring the sound to life on this unique, crazy, absolutely mental series like you've just seen. It's genuinely the most fun I've had in my whole 20-year career in sound. And thanks to Nat Geo for their amazing hospitality as well over the last couple of days. Thank you very much.
The nominees in Outstanding Music Composition Documentary are Bring Them Home, Esko Tagap Yaya, Thunder Heart Films, PBS. Chasing Time, POV Shorts, Exposure Labs, PBS. The Final Copy of Elon Specht, Breakwater Studios, Traverse 32. The Last Rhinos, A New Hope, 66 Media Inc. Pangolin, Kulu's Journey, Netflix. Songs from the Hole, Netflix.
I'm sorry for what I did to your family.
Vietnam, The War That Changed America, Apple TV.
And the Emmy goes to Pangolin, Kulu's Journey, Netflix. The winner couldn't be here with us tonight. The Academy accepts this award on their behalf. As we lead up to the presentation of Best Documentary later in the evening, we'll be showing clips from each of this year's nominees. All of these films have taken a look at stories powerful people would rather they not tell, and say that again. unearthed truths that were long hidden, or histories we thought we knew but were placed in a whole new light. Here are selections from Black Snow and Hurricane Katrina, Race Against Time.
Вот из-под земли идет такое вот. Рассказал охранник правду, что здесь горит, и тут пласт горит, тут пласт горит. Его уволили с работы за это. Так вот, нельзя правду говорить.
Вот, 220. 220? Вот, 2. 1,5.
Right where we were was maybe about 7, 8 inches in the streets, which wasn't a problem. But it was weird because we're seeing more water coming up in the street than we normally do.
We realized it's not a normal hurricane aftermath, because all of a sudden the water started rising very quickly.
Coming to the stage is a principal dancer with the New York City Ballet and the subject of tonight's nominated film, Tyler Peck's Suspending Time. Please welcome Tyler Peck.
The documentaries nominated tonight take on an extraordinary challenge: how to make sense of a world that can often feel overwhelming and deeply complex. These films revisit tragedies that continue to shape us, from Hurricane Katrina to Oklahoma City bombing, while also exploring subjects as difficult as layered as dark money in politics and the multi-billion-dollar active shooter readiness industry. What documentary filmmaking does so beautifully is create space for deeper understanding. In a world of constant headlines, scrolling feeds, and quick reactions, documentaries ask us to slow down, to listen closely to survivors and storytellers, and to sit with perspectives and experiences that may feel unfamiliar or even uncomfortable. These nominees have approached that responsibility with incredible thoughtfulness, compassion, and artistry. I'm truly honored to help celebrate their work tonight.
The nominees in Outstanding Research Documentary are The American Revolution, Florentine Films, PBS, Hurricane Katrina, Race Against Time, Lightbox, Oklahoma City Bombing, One Day in America, 72 Films, The Strike, UPHSF LLC, The Stringer, Netflix, Syria's Detainee Files, Frontline, PBS, Turning Point, The Vietnam War, Netflix, The White House Effect, Actual Films, Netflix.
And the Emmy goes to Turning Point, The Vietnam War, Netflix.
Accepting the Emmy, researcher Duan Huang Curtis.
I live in despair. They would come in and they would search my house. And here I am with my baby. I really thought about committing suicide during those days. My husband escaped from the education camp. He was hidden in a church by the priest, by the pastor.
Thank you. This is the dress I wore as a child when getting on the last helicopter taking civilians from the airport in the final hours of the Vietnam War. We were rescued by the U.S. Fall of Saigon Marines. Thank you and your wives for both the trips and this dress, Semper Fi. And I grew up in the U.S. and came later to understand that my family had capitalist, communist, neutralist, anti-war among us. My dad fought in the war against his brother. I learned conflicting histories. To reconcile these diverse truths, I committed decades of my life to extensive research and making films about war and conflict. In Turning Point, the Vietnam War, I was met with filmmakers and researchers here with the same passion about getting it right and bringing forth previously unheard POVs. Bo Kovitz, Sabrina Park, C.J. Walker, Maury Rothman, Tom Ing Wing, Helen McGowan, Cheyenne Tan, Sarah Villarreal, Gauman Fung, and I researched from multiple sides of the war in multiple languages, fitting as much research of this devastating war 50 years on as the algorithm would allow. It is with seeing and respecting the many angles from which we come that we can attempt to capture and address the bigger picture together with all our eyes. Future generations will judge us for our myopia and our inability to have compassion for each other and cooperate for their sake. Thank you to Brian Knappenberger, Sarah Husseingay, Claire Tucker, and all at Luminate, our subjects and consultants who shared their lives, deep knowledge, and our loved ones, Netflix, for letting us tell the larger stories of the different sides of the war in our own voices, and you for watching and being moved. We dedicate our work to all those affected by war, past, future, and certainly present. Thank you.
The nominees in Outstanding Current Affairs Documentary are Antidote, Frontline Features, PBS, Life After, Independent Lens, Multitude Films, PBS, Lost in the Jungle, Little Monster Films, 2,000 Meters to Andreevka, Frontline Features, PBS, Thoughts and Prayers, HBO Documentary Films.
And the Emmy goes to Lost in the Jungle, Little Monster Films.
Accepting the Emmy, director and producer Juan Camilo Cruz.
Teníamos esas frutas, milpeyes, y pues yo le daba a Cristi como lo más blanditos. Como Cristi lloraba y ya yo sabía que ya tenía sed.
Well, yeah. Thank you for the Academy for this award. It's insane to be here, and thank you for everybody that supported this film. Thank you to Nat Geo. You guys are the best. Thank you, Little Monster, Chai, for everything. Anna, Jonathan, Simon, Guillermo, Aidin, you guys are the best. We have an amazing team, creative team that has supported this film. And of course, this is dedicated to the children who inspired this story, who gave us the opportunity to make this film, and who bonded our country together. I come from Colombia. This is a story about basically two different worlds coming together to work for the future, and I think that's something very important today. So thank you, everybody.
The nominees in Outstanding Politics and Government Documentary are Bodyguard of Lies, See It Now Studios, The Dark Money Game, HBO Documentary Films, Hollywood Gate, Rolling Narratives, The Making of a Japanese, Doc World, Ceneric Creative, Prime Minister, Madison Wells.
And the Emmy goes to Prime Minister Madison Wells.
Accepting the Emmy, Director Michelle Walsh.
Didn't expect to say that. And maybe that's because we spent so much time taking nothing for granted that I genuinely took nothing for granted. And I don't want you to think for a moment that it was just because of a pandemic. It's because of the way we got us.
What an incredible honour. Thank you so much to the Academy and everybody for being here tonight and the work that you do. There has never been a more important time for us to choose leaders that share our values and want to create a world that all of us want to live in. Jacinda Ardern showed us what that looks like, and we were really lucky to be there to capture it. We have a lot of thank yous. We had an extraordinary team working across the Pacific to make this film possible. Firstly, Gigi Pritzker and Rachel Shane for supporting this film and backing us when we came with a small New Zealand team, 300 hours of footage, and a big dream. I want to thank Cass Avery. She's been my longtime producer, and both her and Katie Peck, they have the tenacity that is absolutely required to produce films of this scale. I want to thank Leon Kirkbeck especially. He's my husband, cinematographer and producer. He picked up the camera and started filming long before there was a budget or a synopsis, and I'm so grateful for you. It's why I'm here tonight. Of course, Clark Gayford. Clark is one of the most bravest filmmakers I know, mostly because he pointed a camera at the woman he loved for 6 years, even in her most private moments, so that we could witness the human behind the leader. So I'm so grateful to you, Clark. I know we're going to break the rules and have Lindsay speak, but documentarians do that. We push boundaries. I'd like to introduce Lindsay. It's my co-director who did a fabulous job.
Oh, thank you. It's such an honor to be here tonight. I'm so grateful to be a part of this community. I admire all the films in this category, and I want to thank our genius editors, Grace Zara and Inat Sidi. Where's Inat? Inat! She didn't come up. Thank you so much. This is such an honor.
And finally, thank you to Jacinda Ardern for opening up your life so we could see what was possible.
The nominees in Outstanding Business and Economic Documentary are Bribe, Inc., 1441 Productions, Can't Look Away, The Case Against Social Media, Bloomberg Originals, Driver, American Documentary, POV, PBS, Made in Ethiopia, American Documentary, POV, PBS, Slumlord Millionaire, Voces, After Spring LLC.
And the Emmy goes to Can't Look Away, The Case Against Social Media, Bloomberg Originals.
Accepting the Emmy, producer and director, Perry Peltz.
Respect and reverence for the judicial system and that legacy of standing up and arguing for the legal rights of people who had been harmed. I believe the plaintiff should have the opportunity to ask questions under oath. I believe judges listen.
Hi, everybody. We are so honored to accept this award on behalf of the entire team of Can't Look Away, our wonderful producer, Anna Casper, the editors, the cinematographers, and this incredible person, my co-director, co-producer, Matt O'Neill. This film was born from the groundbreaking and powerful investigative reporting of Olivia Carville. Olivia, thank you. And it was nurtured and challenged and just done incredible things by our executive producer, Kristen Powers. Thank you. And the wonderful executive team at Bloomberg. And it is so worth noting that the Bloomberg newsroom is a place where investigative reporting and investigative documentaries are not only nurtured and born, but they are done so with enthusiasm and vigor. And that is not something that happens all the time. And finally, this film would never have happened without the very brave families who shared the tragic stories of their children's senseless deaths for one reason, in the hope that it would save lives. So we just want to say the names: Jordan Dumais, Alexander Neville, Mason Edens, and England Roberts. This is for you.
Please welcome Emmy Award-winning journalist and host of Bloomberg This Weekend, Christina Ruffini, along with Elisa Payne, producer of Best Documentary nominee, Katrina Come Hell and High Water, and Fred Kaufman, executive producer of two of this year's outstanding nature documentary nominees, Willow, Diary of a Mountain Lion, and Katavi, Africa's Fallen Paradise.
Hi. Hi, everybody. We feeling nice and cozy?
Very cozy.
We got some couches. Sorry for all you all that are in chairs. So many of the documentaries tonight talk about the power of nature. And I know you both have done documentaries that in very different ways talk about nature's impact on people, nature's impact on animals. I'm wondering why you think this is a subject that time and time again, documentary filmmakers come back to. Is it a time right now where people find that especially comforting, or is it something that people always kind of like because of just, it's such a classic human story? Fred, do you want to start?
I think it's both. It's always been very popular, even more so today. I think part of it is because the technology, the cameras, the lenses, et cetera, have gotten better. The science is better than it's ever been. And frankly, the filmmaking has gotten so much better. And so it's just built on improvements everywhere and telling great stories and getting access to great places.
Lisa?
And in our case, it's about nature gone wrong and what happens when the government and people don't respond and make nature disasters become man-made disasters. And so we think people are drawn to our work because environmental justice is so important, right? Thank you. Yeah, right? So climate change is real, and so that's part of nature and talking about nature.
I also, you kind of stole my next question, Fred, but that's what smart people do. I wanted to ask you what things in technology have made the job harder and what has made it easier? Like, has the place we are, is it harder to get funding for these documentaries? Is it harder to get eyeballs on it in such a fractured media environment? And to your point, what things have made it easier? Technology, lenses, high definition, and streaming access where sometimes people get to see your work that would never have gotten to see it 10, 20 years ago.
Well, big shout out to PBS because they've been with us. They're loyal, they're supportive, and they have never wavered when it came to natural history, and they've always been strong supporters of the work we do. In terms of technology, I'm going to plug one of the films we actually have in the category up for a nomination. It's called Willow, Diary of a Mountain Lion. And in fact, all the natural history footage was never shot by a human being. We accessed a ranch in the mountains of Montana where there were 200 motion-controlled cameras. And every bit of behavior was picked up by these motion-controlled cameras. And it's a very intimate, special look at these. It's basically 6 mountain lions that you could never get. You could never capture this behavior with, traditional cameramen out there. So in that sense, it made it easier, but it made it harder because it was a 10-year project, over 1,000 hours. It took the producer a year just to even go through the footage.
Wow. Elisa, I'm wondering, as you put your film together, a lot of it has got to be archival and trying to find ways to capture something footage that's 20 years old. How do you find that? How do you upgrade it? How do you make it connect with audiences today?
So I want to say that we have the best archival team, the best team at Message Pictures. Shout out to Kara and Jira and all of the team. We had real complicated technology, VHS recorders, that people recorded themselves. We are fortunate enough that people actually recorded themselves in the moment. And so we have, thanks to our brave participants, we have their archival that they actually filmed of themselves awaiting the storm, and then in the Super Bowl, et cetera, when they were in the middle of the storm. And so for us, we felt like it gave such an immersive look into natural disasters, but also to history, and opened up a way of telling history where you can look and see the perspective and the point of view from the person on the ground.
And they're filming this on what? On DV cams? On house?
They're on VHS,
on VHS, big recorders.
Yeah.
Was it stuff that you even knew existed? How did you figure out that people had an old VHS of the storm coming in?
So we went to door to door, and also our team, Sam Pollard, who's getting his Lifetime Achievement for it tonight, Geeta Gondabir, Butch Robinson, and Spike Lee, they had done When the Levees Broke. So they had a previous relationship with some people so that we could start and go to their homes and get VHS. And we had our PAs literally knocking on doors and getting home video and other things of the moment. There was all of these artists that had all this great photos that they took of artifacts that were laying in the ruins that ended up being artwork for us and part of the visual storytelling.
Fred, one of the other films you have nominated tonight is Katavi. It's about this drought in these plains. How do you go about telling a story that's not really, I mean, it is about the humans, but it's more about nature as a whole? What are the challenges in making that compelling and relatable?
Well, Katavi is a region in Tanzania that's not nearly as famous as the Serengeti, but same idea. And the filmmakers, by coincidence, were filming during a once-in-a-100-year drought. Yeah. And I'm so glad it got recognized here because the imagery is very grim and it's very difficult to watch, and you have shrinking water holes and animals are on top of each other. There's one visual I've never seen in my life where a hippo pool with crocodiles, and the crocodiles, to get around, had to walk on the backs of the hippos. So it's very disturbing, it's hard to watch, but incredibly compelling.
And the pictures speak for themselves.
Yeah, it's just amazingly compelling about what the planet's going through.
I think both, all the work here tonight is very compelling. We're very grateful for your time. We're gonna have to leave it there, but thank you both so much for tonight.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Please welcome the President and CEO of the National Academy of Television Arts and Sciences, Adam Sharp.
Good evening. Thank you for joining us, and thank you also to our production team, our volunteers, and our partners at YouTube and the Reporters Committee for Freedom of the Press. Thank you also to the more than 800 volunteer judges who put in countless hours to select these 24 Emmy honorees from a field of more than 1,000 submissions. Yes, let's applaud the judges. You know who you are. You've spent a lot of time looking at those screens. When the revolutionary generation put pen to parchment 250 years ago, they declared the necessary right to publish facts to a candid world as a founding principle of American liberty. They chose to align themselves to a vision of public freedom reinforced a decade later by the First Amendment. The cause met challenges from the start, and generations of writers, publishers, and broadcasters have rightly joined together over the years to push back ever since. They've recognized that liberty is a muscle that must be exercised. Whether it's the Sedition Acts or the Pentagon Papers, Obama-era leak prosecutions, or the recent weaponization of press access, attacks on the press are not new, nor are they unique to one political party. They are born of this country's founding tension between sunlight and power. Journalists and documentarians are the torchbearers for the public's right to know and to speak. Throughout history, there have been those who have joined together to keep doors closed, to keep government and policymaking away from public view. And then there are those who band together to open the doors, who ask tough questions, to bring the public inside. Those are the people whose work we celebrate with News and Documentary Emmy Awards. These are the people whose ideals guide the news and documentary peer groups of our academies. And this is the community we hope you will join by becoming an Academy member. Please visit members.theemmys.tv or scan the QR code on your screen. And then there are those trendsetters who have led the way for decades. Those always on the front lines, kicking those doors down, setting an example for those that follow, day after day, year after year. Our Academy recognizes these standout individuals for their service not just in, but to our industry, by inducting them into our Gold and Silver Circle Society of Honor. Let's take a look at this year's documentary inductees.
Patricia Aufderheide is a scholar, an intellectual on media and social change, and an expert on fair use. For 4 decades in her academic and journalistic work, Patricia has perfected a voice to explain complex phenomena with clarity and vividness. Her contributions to storytelling for stronger democracy shapes her students, viewers, and greater community. R.J. Cutler has profoundly influenced the landscape of documentary filmmaking and television production for more than 30 years, leaving an indelible mark through his innovative storytelling, mentorship, and dedication to the craft. R.J. was a pioneer in premium documentary films even before the term existed. A diverse talent, he has not only helped define what non-fiction television can be, he has made it an art form. Over the course of nearly 4 decades, Sally Jo Pfeiffer has demonstrated tremendous leadership, innovation, and commitment to the independent documentary film community. Sally tirelessly promotes the work of others, having spent more than 35 years fighting for independent filmmakers by securing rights and funding, as well as promoting diversity and improving the filmmaking infrastructure. Her work has had a deep impact in documentary storytelling and, in turn, her viewers. For 45 years, cinematographer and director Vicente Franco Izquierdo's career has been defined by a commitment to meaningful documentary storytelling and service to the craft. Across hundreds of projects, Vicente has prioritized collaboration, honesty, and the power of film to illuminate human experience. Renee Tajima Peña's career as a filmmaker has chronicled stories of Asian American and immigrant communities for decades. Through various series, commentary, and documentaries, her work has highlighted untold stories of social justice. At the same time, Renee has become a prolific mentor for the next generation of media makers and creatives. Susan Lacey recognized early on the importance of documenting individuals who forged our cultural heritage. Her fascination with real people and the stories behind their achievements inspired her to create the iconic American Masters. Susan leads with character, integrity, and a collaborative spirit, earning the trust and admiration of colleagues across the industry. Her vision and leadership have preserved our cultural history and elevated the art of documentary storytelling.
It is now my pleasure to introduce the 2026 class of documentary inductees to the Gold and Silver Circle.
Now, please turn your attention to clips from 2 more of tonight's Best Documentary nominees. Here are Life After and Love and War.
This film is not about suicide. It's about the phenomenon that leaves people desperate to find their place in the world that perpetually rejects them. I have fallen in and out of that desperation my whole life.
It's the length of assignments. That's always been the challenge in our relationship. If it's 1 week, 2 weeks, it's not really a big deal, but when it gets longer, over 3 weeks, it's always, things tend to unravel at home.
In my heart, all I want to be doing is shooting.
Please welcome the series producer of tonight's 3-time nominated Nat Geo documentary, Secrets of the Penguins, Serena Davies.
In many ways, we're living in a golden age of documentary. When people open up their favorite streamer, it seems like they're just as likely to pick one of our films as they are K-pop Demon Hunters or the latest season of Stranger Things. That's because these big corporations have seen that there is a demand out there. They have the numbers, and the numbers say that people want our work. In an age of AI and deep fakes, viewers want real stories. They want to explore real issues. They want to hear from real people. And they trust the people in this room to bring them that window into reality. The nominees in the following categories have earned that trust with films that delve deep into controversial issues, films that explore the lives of serial killers and Supreme Court justices, and a lot of people in between. Let's begin with Outstanding Investigative Documentary.
The nominees in Outstanding Investigative Documentary are Cover Up, Netflix; Critical Incident, A Death at the Border, HBO Documentary Films; Predators, Sweet Relief; The Stringer, Netflix; Syria's Detainee Files, Frontline, PBS.
Oh, and the Emmy goes to Critical Incident, A Death at the Border, HBO Documentary Films.
It's like killing the king. You want to make sure that you don't miss. We knew this may be difficult, but we also knew from the very beginning that there was something more to this case.
Cruelty and violence have festered at the heart of U.S. immigration enforcement for so long. And part of it is because of the impunity and the secrecy that have surrounded these organizations. And so I need to thank this incredible team for pulling back the veil and exposing that organization. Our intrepid producer, Juliana, AC Thompson, and Nathan, and Missy, our amazing editor, and the great investigators in this film, Jen Budd and John Carlos Frey, who couldn't be here, and most of all, Maria, Anastasio's widow, who, against all odds, as an undocumented immigrant, took on one of the most powerful, violent, and vindictive organizations in this country and managed to win some measure of truth from all of its lies. I also really have to thank Lisa, Nancy, Tina, and HBO for... Thank you for being brave and for being willing to speak hard truths in this era of lies. It's been an honor to work with you.
The nominees in Outstanding Crime and Justice Documentary are Aileen, Queen of Serial Killers, Netflix; A Deadly American Marriage, Netflix; The Fox Hollow Murders, Playground of a Serial Killer, ABC News Studios; No Justice, Just Kills, BBC Select; Oklahoma City Bombing, American Terror, Netflix; The Strike, Independent Lens, Latino Public Broadcasting, PBS.
And the Emmy goes to The Strike, Independent Lens, Latino Public Broadcasting, PBS.
Accepting the Emmy, director Joe Bill Munoz.
We all began to realize that our existence was being suppressed by the same person.
So then you started having people like, man, we need to do something to make a change.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. I'm Joe Bill Munoz. I'm up here with my co-director, Lucas Gilkey, and our editor, Daniela Quiros. Wow. I'm very impressed that no one here has cursed yet, because I almost just did. I want to start by thanking some of our supporters, Independent Lens, Lois Vossen, Carrie Lozano, PBS, our amazing crew, Daniela, Anna, Benny, who's here, Victor, and so many more. Most of all, I want to thank the solitary survivors featured in the film who spent decades of their lives in solitary confinement and were willing to share their stories with us. I was born, surprised no one has cried either, right? That's incredible. I was born in a small trailer park, one of 6 immigrant Mexican kids who learned how to survive this crazy country from watching PBS documentaries. And I just want to say that if that sounds like you at home, I believe in you, you got this, and I'll see you here in the future.
Shout out to the most amazing collaborators of all time right here. Our film tells a story. I got this. Our
happens all the time.
We're co-directors. We used to be in a little duo here. Our film tells the story of 30,000 incarcerated people who put their lives on the line in a hunger strike to protest solitary confinement and reclaim their humanity. Jack, Dolores, Michael, Farouk, Dadisi, Paul, Sitawa, and all of the hunger strikers, many of whom are still incarcerated and many of whom are out now doing incredible things, and your families. This recognition is for you. This film was over a decade of my life, and I wouldn't have had it any other way. At a time right now when people are on hunger strike in immigration detention centers, from Adelanto in California to Delaney Hall in New Jersey, right now, on the front lines of fighting fascism, we hope our film reminds us of the power of sacrifice, of fearlessness, and most importantly, collective solidarity. Thank you.
The nominees in Outstanding Social Issue Documentary are Born Poor, Frontline, PBS, Enigma, HBO Documentary Films, Katrina, Come Hell and High Water, Netflix, The Ride Ahead, American Documentary, POV, PBS, Searching for Amani, Doc World, Backyards Pictures.
And the Emmy goes to The Ride Ahead, American Documentary, POV, PBS.
Accepting the Emmy, director Samuel Habib.
My life can be complicated. So much can go wrong with my health, or my chair, or how people treat me. But I'm willing to take risks to live a full life. A fun life. A good life. I'm Samuel Habib, the co-director of this film, along with my dad Dan Habib and our co-producer Erica Lupinacci. We are grateful to the National Academy of Television Arts and Sciences for this awesome award. Thanks to American Documentary and POV for being great teammates on this project, and to our editor James Rotenbeck, our animators at Sole Proprietor, and to our executive producers Jim Lobrecht and Sarah Boulder. Thanks especially to my mom, Betsy McNamara, and my older brother Isaiah, for being there for me my whole life. My goal for this film is to make sure other young adults with disabilities have the same opportunities that I have had for healthcare, inclusive education, college, assistive technology, making friends, and accessible housing. I would like to dedicate this award to the late disability rights badass, Judy Heumann, our friend and mentor, who told me to believe that the world can be a better place than it is, and that I can make a difference.
The nominees in Outstanding Historical Documentary are Becoming Katharine Graham, Life Stories. Becoming Thurgood, America's Social Architect. Maryland Public Television, PBS. The Disappearance of Miss Scott, American Masters. Fourth Act Factual LLC, PBS. Hurricane Katrina, Race Against Time, Lightbox. Simon Schama, The Holocaust 80 Years On, Oxford Film and Television, PBS. Turning Point, The Vietnam War, Netflix. Vietnam, The War That Changed America, Apple TV.
And the Emmy goes to Simon Schama, The Holocaust 80 Years On, Oxford Film and Television, and PBS.
Accepting the Emmy, writer Simon Schama.
If there's any project where your usual tools as an historian are inadequate, it's this one. It's immediately overwhelming, so it's already quite hard to deal with. But if you're going to Auschwitz, you feel this immense monster lying beneath the surface. So we're going to meet the monster.
Sometimes you wish you didn't have to make a film about the worst that human beings can do to other humans. But that's going on a lot now. The Holocaust needs to be remembered as if we were ourselves trapped by it. And we tried in this film to bring people into the center of this abysmal dismay and cruelty. Thank you, the Academy. Thank you, PBS. Thank you, my dear colleagues, Stephen Segala, my colleagues at WNET, Oxford Films, genius director Hugo McGregor, wonderful editor Richard Wilkinson. Thank you, my darling wife, who has to put up with me bad-tempered when we're writing these films and exhausted when it comes back. And thank you, documentary community. It's not just that we make great and important and truthful films. Don't be defensive. Don't be defensive. Democracy, what's left of it, depends on us.
I am honored as host of Documentary Night for the 47th News and Documentary Emmys to present this year's Douglas W. Mummer Scholarship. This scholarship is awarded to a student pursuing a career in the television industry who has made a positive impact through community service. You can learn more about the scholarship and support the foundation in its initiative by visiting the foundation website through the QR code on the screen behind me. And you can also order wings on that if you're feeling a little hungry. The Natus Foundation is proud to honor Cameron Kierkegaard of Grand Junction, Colorado, with this year's Mummert Scholarship. When the judges reviewed Cameron's work, many asked, "Are you sure this was produced by a student?" Because his deep understanding of the medium and exceptional knack for timing and composition is something even seasoned filmmakers sometimes struggle with. The subjects that Cameron addresses with his films are difficult and sensitive, and his respect and care for his subjects shows through in every frame. Let's take a look.
In regards to abuse while I was on the U.S. biathlon team, it's funny, I've talked about it a lot. I think maybe it's just this event.
Please welcome this year's Douglas W. Mummert Scholarship recipient, Cameron Kierkegaard.
Thank you so much to the National Academy of Television Arts and Sciences and everyone involved with the News and Documentary Emmys for this incredible honor. I'm grateful to be here surrounded by such talented storytellers. Seeing the work in this room is incredibly inspiring. This scholarship opens doors and gives me the opportunity to keep pursuing impactful filmmaking. This fall, I am beyond excited to be attending New York University in this beautiful city. Thank you again for not only believing in, but investing in young filmmakers like me, and for continuing to dedicate yourselves to the truth, even in the face of intimidation. Thank you.
I'd like to give a quick shout out to our presenting sponsor for tonight, YouTube, which explains why later tonight I'll be presenting Best Investigative Winged Eyeliner Tutorial. As someone who is in his mid-50s but reads mid-40s, still auditions for early 30s, and acts like late 20s, I feel I have a real connection with today's youth. 6'7", you guys. That's why I am so proud to introduce you to our Emmy envoys, the two promising students who you see on stage tonight helping out with tonight's festivities. Please welcome Crystal Hu and Aziza Schuler from Columbia Journalism School. Also, please join me in recognizing tonight's American Sign Language interpreters, Kathleen Taylor and Ariel Agramonti. And thank you for making tonight's ceremony a welcoming event for all. Well, we've given out plenty of Emmy Awards tonight, but now it's time to give out something even better: consumer electronics. Our friends at LG wanted to support the filmmakers here tonight, which is why they're giving away an LG Stand By Me 2 27-inch portable smart touchscreen to 2 lucky attendees. These things are cool as hell. You can use them on set, you can use them in post, you can wheel them into the bathroom so you can watch your stories while you go. Amazing. And as a bonus, LG is also throwing in their Stand By Me XT7 Bluetooth speakers. That is awesome. Clearly, LG stands for let's go. Envoys, bring me the 2 randomly generated seat numbers of our winners. Thank you, Crystal. You're pretending you're not excited, but you are. I know you are. Documentarians don't get free shit that much, so. First winner, orchestra level, row N, seat 4. Did that person leave? If not, if they did, whoever sits in that seat first gets their TV. Second winner, orchestra level, row S, seat 104. Congratulations to the winners, and thank you so much to LG. Well, that was exciting. almost as exciting. Did you win? Were you in the can when they called your name? Oh, I don't think you get it right now. That was exciting, wasn't it? Almost as exciting as getting nominated for Best Documentary. Throughout the night, we've been showing you selections from this year's Best Documentary nominees. These next two films highlight documentary's power to tell stories across the globe, from the front lines of Ukraine to the halls of power in New Zealand. Here are 2,000 meters to Andreevka and Prime Minister.
Все, нога, блядь, пацаны. Все. Ага. Не, я все, брат. Я все.
Є, Віро, віктуй і повзи.
Братан, не поповзу.
Повзеш, лисий поповз, мороз поповз, і ти поповзеш. Давай, вінтуй.
Eating my pregnancy biscuits. See? Belly bump biscuits.
Yeah, well.
Are you worried about your future milk production? Your lactation, hormone stores.
Well, don't make them so delicious.
And as you push and push, and then with the next contraction, and we encourage the head to come down to pop the shoulder free of here, and the baby will just slip out very easily and up onto up, and it just comes up here.
Please welcome back to the stage Emmy Award-winning journalist and host of Bloomberg This Weekend, Christina Ruffini, along with 3 of our nominated filmmakers tonight, Shark Whisperer director J.P. Stiles, Secrets of the Penguin cinematographer and National Geographic explorer Bertie Gregory, and director of The Last Rhinos, A New Hope, Taylor Reese.
Thank you so much, guys. Unfortunately, I'm not giving things away, but I'm hoping this segment will be valuable and worth staying for. We were talking backstage about the different things you guys love about these documentaries and the challenges. And JP, I asked you if this was your first nature documentary. If you do this a lot, you said this was your first one. Usually you do other subjects, and you were talking about some of the more interesting challenges, like the fact that, you know, sharks don't show up on cue, and you're trying to film them, and they're not where you're supposed to. Talk to us through about how you adapted to that.
Well, you just said it. Sharks don't show up for work on time, and the ocean is also very unpredictable, so we were passing out Dramamine to our crew. But we were very flexible and nimble, and props to our crew. Some of the members are here tonight, and we had to, you know, adapt just as these sharks do. And if we couldn't shoot on the water, we might move to the land. And we were on Hawaii, so it wasn't a bad place to be.
I mean, that's not the worst place, even if you have to take some Dramamine.
Exactly.
Bertie, you dealt with penguins, and you were saying one of the challenges is they live in places that humans probably shouldn't. Talk to us about how you kit up an entire crew, an entire production to be able to deal with those temperatures and make sure that you're getting those shots.
Yeah, I mean, obviously a lot of people know that penguins live in very cold places, so we spent a lot of time putting lots of clothes on. I had heated gloves, which were pretty nice, managed to rewire them to power off my camera's battery, which was kind of bougie.
Perfect.
But actually, there are also penguins that live in very hot places. We called them the hot penguins, not because they were particularly good looking, although they are.
They might be, they might be.
But they live in hot places, like in the Galapagos, one of the rarest penguin species. So there, the challenges were completely different, and it was super dry and barren, and they live in this crazy lava landscape. So yeah, they're amazing little birds that make us look kind of useless.
Taylor, you were dealing with rhinos. You were telling me backstage what you learned being around these rhinos and kind of what they taught you. Talk to us about that a little bit.
Yeah, so there are 2 northern white rhinos left on this planet at the moment, and at a certain point I thought, like, wow, how heartbreaking and devastating on some level, and I sat down with Amy Vitale, the photographer of the project, and we kind of sat with them one day, and they basically just resonated back to us that despair is not an option. Like, they're not walking around in sorrow being the last 2 rhinos on Earth. They're fulfilling their purpose, they're loving each other, they're moving forward, and they're hoping that we show up for them.
We spoke a little bit in the last panel about how nature, when you're talking about the environment and these, large-scale nature versus man kind of documentaries, why they're compelling. But I feel like nature documentaries on a smaller scale are also very compelling about humans' relationships with these animals or just the animals themselves. And I imagine that's something you all were attracted to when you started doing these movies. So I just want to go down the line and say, what was your favorite part about doing this? What did you learn? And what do you think filmmakers should know before they decide to maybe venture into making an animal nature documentary? Go for it. Yeah.
What was beautiful about ours is we got to see Ocean Ramsey observe the sharks, and we also got to see Juan Oliphant, who is her husband and amazing cinematographer, see her see the sharks, right? And then there's a love story between them that also develops. So really this beautiful relationship that they all kind of shared was amazing to witness.
I learned that I thought I knew penguins, and turns out I don't. And I think that happens every time you go out into the natural world. You learn something new and surprising, and I think if you want to get into wildlife film, you've got to be persistent and passionate and curious, and yeah, we've certainly got a lot to learn from nature.
Curiosity seems like a good thing for documentarians across the board. Taylor?
Yeah, echoing that. I mean, there's no shortage of new ways to look at our planet, to listen to it, to document it, to fall in love with it. So I'm just really inspired by everyone here, and I think we're always going to be expanding that path.
What were the biggest challenges, either production-wise, financing-wise, distribution, when you really want to get this done, you want to make it good, and you want to make it resonate with an audience? What were the difficulties specifically with dealing with these subject matters?
I would say a lot of blue water. There's not a lot of differences happening with the sharks, right? So for us to actually spend the time, hours upon hours going through the footage to make sure we could realize which shark is which shark, right?
How do you tell what shark? It sounds like it's set up to a joke, but how does one tell which shark is which shark?
Very small, different colorations on their skin, and also, unfortunately, a lot of them have been injured, so they might have different injuries that make them very noticeable to tell, right? But also, some of them have a little bit different personalities, which maybe Ocean Ramsey is the one who could kind of share about that. But yes, it's unfortunately a lot of injuries or the different colorations on their skin.
I think one of the biggest challenges is trying to break through the noise. Once you've made a documentary, how do you get people to sit up and learn about sharks or penguins or rhinos? And I think an amazing thing and a very frustrating thing is that animals don't read the script, right? It's super annoying most of the time, but it also means they give you things that you never would have expected, and the penguins certainly did that a lot for us. And,
Any one moment come to mind?
Well, we filmed a bunch of chicks kind of take a wrong turn on their way to take their first swim in the ocean, and they ended up jumping off of a 50-foot ice cliff to get in the sea. And they survived.
Okay, all right.
Panic.
I was like, I don't know if I can mentally handle that right now. But
yeah, it turns out we kind of broke the internet with that clip, and I'm glad it resonated with people. And yeah, these brave little chicks, just sending it.
It seems like you broke through quite a bit there. Taylor, how about you?
I think it's I don't know about you guys, but I don't have the answers to the world's problems when it comes to our relationship with the environment, and I think documentary film is trying to break that apart to help us understand. And ultimately, the stories are, they could be infinitely more complex. So choosing a narrative, finding, how you're going to contain something that has so many parts and so many ways of looking at it is challenging, but it's
worth it.
But worth it.
All right, I don't think I can find a better ending note, so we're going to leave it there. Thank you all so much for being with us tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Please welcome the Emmy and Peabody Award-winning CEO of New York Women in Film and Television, Cynthia Lopez.
The filmmakers in this room are courageous and relentless. I say this with compassion and understanding. They are dreamers, they're obsessive, choosing as part of our art to become hyper-fixated on a single topic for years on end. Who else but the nominees tonight would embed with a colony of penguins in the Antarctica, or take us inside the complicated 27-year romantic relationship, one of whom happens to be an astronaut, or take us on an extremely personal journey through the history of funk music. Making these films takes money, yes, but it takes something even more precious. It takes time, attention, personal details, and sacrifices. Time and attention that can go to personal relationships, vacations, or just enjoying some sunlight these days. But not these filmmakers. They know that the only way to make these films that matter is to give them their time and attention and this obsessive nature that has yielded the incredible films that have been nominated here tonight.
The nominees in Outstanding Nature Documentary are Katavi, Africa's Fallen Paradise, Nature, PBS, The Last Rhinos, A New Hope, 66 Media Inc., Secrets of the Penguins, Talesmith, Shark Whisperer, Netflix, Willow, Diary of a Mountain Lion, Nature, PBS.
And the Emmy goes to Secrets of the Penguins.
Accepting the Emmy, executive producer Ruth Roberts.
One last time, the leader steps forward.
I can't believe it.
Oh my goodness, this is thrilling. Thank you so much. What a privilege. This took 3 years of devotion to the storytelling craft. We've got a team here who spent almost a year in Antarctica. So, my heart is racing. I want to say a huge thank you to our friends and colleagues at National Geographic. This kind of show can't do it without you. That's Courtney Monroe, Tom MacDonald, Janet Han-Vistering, and the incredible Pam Caragol. I'd also like to thank James Cameron and his team at Lightstorm Entertainment, Maria Wilhelm and Kim Butts, Bertie Gregory for holding the show together and delivering that incredible storytelling on and off screen. And of course, on behalf of myself, my business partners, Martin Williams and Mark Wright at Talesmith back in London, we thank this team so much. They went above and beyond in every possible way, and we couldn't have done it without them. Thank you very much.
The nominees in Outstanding Science and Technology Documentary are Critical Condition, Health in Black America, Nova, GBH, PBS. The Memory of Darkness, Light and Ice, Metamorph Films, LLC. Operation Space Station, Nova, GBH, PBS. Sally, Muck Media. Titan, the Ocean Gate Submersible Disaster, Netflix.
I'm really nervous for this. And the Emmy goes to The Memory of Darkness, Light, and Ice.
Accepting the Emmy, director, producer, and cinematographer, Kathy Kasich.
Greenland. It's the largest island in the world, made of 80% ice, up to 2 miles thick. Greenland's ice sheet has an area about 3 times the state of Texas.
Oh my gosh, wow.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I'm so grateful to be in such great company. And I want to thank, in particular, the National Science Foundation, who funded this documentary, and my amazing team, part of whom is here today, editor Tony Hale, my partner, my life partner, and writer Jonathan Porteous, and Eddie Pum, camera operator, and 10 other students who were former students of mine from California State University, Sacramento, who also worked on this film, 35 scientists who collaborated across 17 academic institutions. Really, we wouldn't be here tonight without Paul Bierman, who is a scientist at the University of Vermont, and Eric Steig, who both recommended I join their grant to do work on this film in Greenland, which it's just about climate change and how the Greenland ice sheet is melting, and how we need to understand this so we can recognize what to do in the future. So it's incredibly important that we support the National Science Foundation, and you all, by supporting this film, have elevated the National Science Foundation and the scientists and their voices in this film. So thank you so much. I would absolutely be remiss to not thank my mother, who's watching tonight, and my dad, may he rest in peace, for knowing the great influence that he had on me, and my daughter Phoebe, Cara, and Brant for being there for me as a support. So thank you so much.
The nominees in Outstanding Arts and Culture Documentary are Jaws at 50, The Definitive Inside Story, Amblin Documentaries, The Merchants of Joy, Dialtone Films, The New Yorker at 100, Netflix, Songs from the Hole, Netflix, Sunday Best, The Untold Story of Ed Sullivan, Delirio Films, Tyler Peck, Suspending Time, Great Performances, Late Autumn Productions LLC, PBS, We Want the Funk, Independent Lens, Firelight Films, PBS.
And the Emmy goes to Tyler Peck, Suspending Time, Great Performances.
Accepting the Emmy, Executive Producer Tyler Peck.
From something huge and then goes down. So what would be your favorite jump? It's the first time they see you, so I want you to do something that you love.
I think grand jeté.
Like développé grand jeté?
No, straight leg.
Straight leg?
Yeah.
But you're gonna have to hang in the air for like 3 counts.
Imagine Misha up there like that.
I'm literally speechless. 7 years ago, I suffered a neck injury and was told I'd never dance again. And to lose the thing that you love the most was really difficult, but I knew within me something didn't feel right. And so what ended up starting off as a documentary about resilience and getting back on stage ended up so much more. I'm so grateful to Alex Ramsey, my filmmaker here, Garen Scribner, and Eric Cook, the producers, for just helping me and letting me be honest and true. And so many things happened within those 6 years. I lost my father as well. I cannot thank Bill O'Donnell, Joan Hershey, David Horn, and the PBS Great Performances for getting this story told to the world. My mother is here. I wouldn't be anything without you. I love you so much, and I'm so glad I get to dance again and do the thing I love. Okay, Alex, go
on. You know, a certain well-known actor recently said that nobody cares about ballet anymore, and I think this win goes to prove him wrong. So thank you to everybody who helped make this film possible. Thank you especially to Tyler for letting us tell your story, and this film would not exist without you. You allowed us to witness not only the beauty of ballet, but the discipline, sacrifice, doubt, determination that all go into it. Over the last 6 years, you showed us what it means to push forward even when the path is uncertain. Thank you again to the PBS team for believing in this film and making it possible. Thank you to our brilliant production team. Shout out to Eric and Garen again, and to my wife, Claudia, who heard me say, we're almost done so many times that this award may technically belong to you as well. So this means the world. Thank you.
The nominees in Outstanding Regional Documentary are 23 Seconds, a Louisville Mass Shooting, Wave News, Blue, The Life and Art of George Rodrigue, WLAE TV, How to Sue the Klan, Real South, Major Taylor, Champion of the Race, WTIU Public Television, Stories Rewritten, The Knoxville Homeless Crisis, Sonic Palette Productions.
And the Emmy goes to Blue, The Life and Art of George Rodriguez. The winner could not be here with us tonight. The Academy accepts this award on their behalf. Thank you. This year, we lost a number of vital pioneers to our industry, people working tirelessly in the news and documentary community. Let's take a look at a moment and remember them now.
I had the best time being a journalist. You know, I didn't go to journalism school, and I never really worked. My only experience with broadcasting journalism was CNN.
Please welcome the chairman of the National Academy of Television Arts and Sciences and a multiple Emmy Award winner himself, Terry O'Reilly.
What a great night. I can't think of a place I'd rather be or a bunch of people I'd rather hang out with. In any case, it is a great pleasure for me to welcome you to this celebration of documentary excellence, work that has candidly never been more important than it is today. They say that news happens in minutes, but documentaries happen in years. That distinction matters more now than any time I can think of. We are living in an era that has weaponized speed, an era where the loudest claim roars through the global culture before the truth has even found time to put its shoes on. Documentary filmmaking is the deliberate refusal of that logic. It's a choice to spend a year or 2 or 3 or 5 on a single story that can't be told in a single news cycle. To sit with people in their most difficult moments long enough that they stop performing for the camera. To follow a thread wherever it leads, even where it may lead someplace that is just commercially uncomfortable. Think about what documentary journalism has given this country. Investigations of the exploitation of women in the workplace, years of legally exposed, professionally dangerous work that finally made the truth undeniable. Or the environmental films that have forced communities across America to confront what was in their water and what was in their air and what was in their children's bloodstreams. None of that work could have been done on deadline, but all of it changed America. We're a fragmented nation. We do not share the same facts, we do not trust the same institutions, and we do not inhabit the same information reality. And into that fragmentation, there are those today who are whispering a very convenient argument that journalism itself is the problem, that the solution to our divided America lies with a press that challenges less and provides the comfortable with even more comfort. Documentary filmmaking is the most powerful argument I know against that, because a great documentary does something that an algorithm cannot. It places one human being inside another human being's truth and makes it difficult to look away. It doesn't tell you what to think. It just shows you what is. Our founding fathers protected the press because self-governance requires informed citizens, but information alone doesn't move people. The truth, to do its work in a democracy, sometimes needs a filmmaker who's willing to spend years making sure it doesn't get ignored. The films we honor here tonight are that work, and their authors, you all, are the heroes. So congratulations to everyone being honored tonight, and my sincere thanks to every filmmaker in this room for the patience, for the courage, and for the craft that you bring to this work. So now let's talk to one of the real highlights, turn to one of the real highlights, I should say, of this evening's celebration, the Academy's Lifetime Achievement Award in documentary filmmaking. I'm pleased to say that I had a little part in one of the films, but it was only when I got to say yes. For this story, please allow me to introduce to the stage filmmaker, Academy Award-winning nominee, Geeta Gandavir.
Hi, everyone, and good night. To those of you still sitting here, congratulations. To everyone at the bar, shame on you. But being asked to present this Lifetime Achievement Award to Samuel D. Pollard is honestly one of the greatest honors of my entire career. This is the man, the myth, the legend, my friend and mentor who means so much to us all. But really, I had my own agenda with this. I'm actually here tonight to start a support group for filmmakers who once thought they were Sam's favorite. There's a bunch of you out there, I know who you are. For many years, I believed Sam Pollard belonged to me. He was my mentor. He was my cinematic guru. And then everywhere I went, festivals, edit rooms, classrooms, and screenings, I heard people talk about how Sam changed my life. And that's when I realized that working with Sam is, in fact, an open relationship. Sam was working with everyone. But this is what happens when people spend time around Sam. Sam makes everyone he encounters feel uniquely seen, important, necessary. He has this rare ability to make you believe your voice matters, that your film matters, and that maybe somehow you are capable of greatness. And the dangerous thing is, he is usually right. Because Sam himself is one of the greatest artists of our time. The Meryl Streep, if you will, of doc accolades. This is the man behind landmark works like Eyes on the Prize, Four Little Girls, When the Levees Broke, Sammy Davis Jr., I Gotta Be Me, MLK FBI, and most recently, The Bishop Desmond Tutu and The Gospel of Forgiveness. And that just scratches the surface. Not to mention around 84 producing credits, 35 directing, 30 editing. I know everyone, don't compare yourselves. Everyone is special. And these are the films that did these are films, forgive me, that did far more than document history. They transformed how we understand race, power, justice, America, and the world itself. Sam's work forced audiences to confront truths we try very hard to look away from. He helped redefine what documentary storytelling could be: emotionally rigorous, politically fearless, joyful, devastating, morally clear, and deeply humane. Entire generations of filmmakers, especially filmmakers of color, can trace their artistic lineage back to Sam Pollard. His influence is everywhere, in how we produce, direct, and edit, and how we structure memory, how we hold complexity, in how we honor people on the screen, not as subjects, but as collaborators and human beings. Sam taught us that filmmaking is not about one person's vision, and that everyone's contribution matters. And somehow, and this is the truly insane part, y'all, while making all of these extraordinary films, Sam also taught university for years. He is a devoted, loving husband to Joyce, who is here tonight. And Joyce, again, there is behind every great man is usually a greater woman. So congratulations, Joyce. He is a loving father, a guiding force to countless of us, and now he is 1/3 of Message Pictures, my attempt, along with my bestie, Elisa Payne, to get him to commit to me professionally. It is still a work in progress. And I also remain convinced he never sleeps. So let's take a look at some examples of his incredible work.
When you see an opening montage, and I've seen many in film, you don't remember the images so much as the feeling.
I can't think of anybody that's had a wider influence on documentary filmmaking than Sam.
He really was a jack of all trades.
His filmography is amazing.
I would work on any film Sam Pollard calls me to work on.
He's such a warm and passionate person. A lot of that came from how he got started.
Sam got his start as an apprentice under an editor, Victor Konevsky, at Valken Films.
I came into the editing room afraid because I didn't know anything. And I felt that the best thing I could do was to watch and listen and soak up. And that's always been an attitude I've had about many things in my life.
Sam's a naturally curious person.
Sam's edit room is not a sleepy edit room. It really feels alive because there's inspiration and excitement about creating something.
He would let everybody cut. He would let the intern cut, the second AE, the first AE.
And I was able to see right there in real time how a story is built.
He taught me about pacing, music. His editing work on Star Wars was just sensational.
Watching him work with Spike Lee was like a masterclass.
I know talent
had to get you on the team.
Spike definitely trusted Sam.
They collaborated multiple times on fiction and nonfiction, where Sam edited or even produced some of his films, earning them many awards, including an Oscar nom.
What about directing? I want to direct.
A major turning point for Sam was Henry Hampton's early civil rights series, Eyes on the Prize. That's when Sam went from being an editor to being a filmmaker.
St. Clair Bourne made me understand that I had a tremendous responsibility. Anytime I had an opportunity to tell our stories, that's what I should do.
Violence is self-defeating. He who lives by the sword will perish by the sword.
Sam expanded the scope of Black life in America beyond what might have been stereotypically represented.
From the artists and the athletes and the musicians.
The joys, the sorrows, the traumas, the celebrations. He's all in for all of that.
But not all his films deal with that topic. He's a universal chronicler of life.
Sam is the ultimate collaborator.
I feel a sense of creative freedom when I work with him.
He's very trusting. His notes are always so on point and so direct.
He was the perfect mentor to have.
He is making himself available to look at your cuts and listen to whatever you're going through.
We were at NYU together. We were at SBA together. He taught some of the top people working today.
He's influenced several generations of filmmakers.
That's the only reason I know how to tell stories.
I will be eternally grateful to my old pal, Sam. Sam is clearly not nearly done.
He's had an impact over the years and will continue to.
He's made all of our films better because of his presence in our lives.
You don't let yourself get pushed in the corner where you're just known as an editor. You are a storyteller.
That's a great end shot.
No, it's not an end. To me, it's just, you just decide to stop.
So it is.
Thank you, thank you. Gita. Shirker, you did a great job, Shirker. Let me give a heartfelt thanks to Gita for that wonderful, wonderful, wonderful introduction. We have known each other for over 30 years, and she is truly a beloved colleague and a wonderful friend. As I stand here receiving this award, I think back to how I got here and the organizations and people that were such important stepping stones in the arc of my career. First, there was the WNET Public Television Workshop in 1971 that was all about diversity, inclusion, and equity before it even became a term, where I was taught the rudiments of filmmaking. Then it was working under the guidance of the late and wonderful Victor Konevsky. The years I spent with him from 1973 to 83 with Victor were eye-opening. I learned how to tell stories and shape documentaries through the editing process. During that time, I met George Bowers, a wonderful black filmmaker that let me edit 2 feature films in my early career, and we became lifelong friends. And then, how can I not mention St. Clair Bourne, who was like a big brother, who empowered me as a filmmaker and a black man to understand the importance of us telling our stories. There was Henry Hampton, who gave me my first chance to direct with Eyes on the Prize. There was Spike, who gave me the opportunity to work on both features and documentaries, where I was engaged in work that continued to push me socially and politically. And there was Susan Lacey. Susan, you out there somewhere? Who gave me an opportunity to direct my first American Masters. and led to a series of wonderful collaborations. But I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for the fact that these people gave to me and shared their experiences and their work experiences with me. And that was one of the reasons I wanted to become a professor at NYU for over 27 years, to give back, the importance of giving back. I did an interview recently for this program, and one of the things I said was that the thing I'm most proud of is seeing this next generation of people who came through my classes, who were mentored by me, who might have been my assistant editors, to see them go on to have great careers. Some of them are in this room. Ross Kaufman, Emma Ryan Yamasaki, Dave Shirker, Ariel Absalon, Geeta. They're all here, and so many others. And even my son, who's not here, Jason Pollard. Finally, I want to give a shout out to my wife, Joyce Vaughn, and my children and my grandchildren, whose love has helped to ground me at times when I was too much into my work and momentarily forgot the importance of family. All this over the last 50 plus years has led me to this podium right now to get this award. And I end this speech with a very gracious and humble thank you for honoring me. And a shout out to my buddy Joel Herson.
Prior to the Vietnam War, for the most part, Americans believed their leaders in Washington, D.C. After Vietnam, you had the first decline of what we call the imperial presidency. This was really when the American people understood that, our leaders in Washington, D.C. aren't always doing what we think they're doing. They don't always tell us the decision-making that was taking place behind closed doors.
I'm a visitor.
With who? What are you doing?
I'm visiting with him. They weren't here.
How long you been here for?
A few minutes.
So you're refusing to leave?
No, I said I'm gonna leave when he leaves.
Are you refusing to leave?
I said no, I'm gonna leave when he leaves.
Are you leaving? Yes or no?
Yeah, I said yes. If you're not leaving within the next 2 minutes, you can be arrested. Y'all not enforcing no law, y'all just wasting your time.
You have 30 seconds or you're getting arrested. 30 seconds.
I'm gonna get arrested? How am I gonna get arrested for? For what? For what? Ooh, what's that? He's a worker. He works here.
Coming to the stage is an award-winning documentary producer and co-governor of the Television Academy's documentary programming peer group, Stephanie Jenkins.
I am honored to be presenting some of the final categories tonight, and congratulations to all the winners so far. These ceremonies can be a lot of things. They can be long, exciting, nerve-wracking, and long. But one thing I always find is that for me, they're very reinvigorating. To come here and be in the presence of our best the industry has to offer, and to be reminded of all of the great work you've done this year and the years leading up to now. I always leave ceremonies like this feeling excited for the work I'm doing, and I'm bursting with new ideas, hopeful that whatever I'm thinking about will find a home and an audience when it's done. And I'm thrilled to be able to share that feeling with all of you tonight. And I hope that being here with people who love documentary as much as you all do has been as exciting for you as it is for me.
The nominees in Outstanding Short Documentary are Chasing Time, POV Shorts, American Documentary, POV, PBS. Give Me Shelter, The Guardian. Heist, Heist the Documentary, LLC. Last Days on Lake Trinity, The New Yorker Documentary, ARC Media. Projecting Protest, Scripps News. The Quilters, Netflix.
Okay, and the Emmy goes to Projecting Protest, Scripps News.
Accepting the Emmy, producer, director, and director of photography, Tom Clement.
So let's get the stand up, and then I'll follow you with the light. Yes, sir. Okay, here we go.
So that this is not a good moment to have lost my voice. But this was really a project of passion that I did for 2 years in between other assignments. And I just want to say thank you to the supervisors and editors who supported me, just letting me do this, essentially. Chad Burke, Zach Toombs, Matt Simon. But Projecting Protest is about a new frontier of the free speech debate. Some of the projected messages you see in the film, like I think most people here would think are funny and righteous. Some of the films most people would find hateful and cruel. But regardless of how we feel about the words themselves, amplifying the voices of ordinary people, preserving our right to be irreverent, to be disruptive, and to challenge power matters a lot right now. To dissent is to be patriotic, at least in the country I hope to live in. So thank you.
The nominees in Outstanding Editing Documentary are Cover Up, Netflix, Folk Tales, Loki Films, Katrina, Come Hell and High Water, Netflix, Life After, Multitude Films, PBS, Love and War, Little Monster Films, 2,000 Meters to Andreevka, Frontline Features, PBS, Thoughts and Prayers, HBO Documentary Films, The White House Effect, Actual Films, Netflix.
Okay, and the Emmy goes to Cover Up, Netflix.
Accepting the Emmy, editor Amy Foote.
I get a call from a former Marine intelligence officer named Roger Charles. He had retired and was hired by 60 Minutes. And so he came to me and said, we got a problem. He told me about Abu Ghraib, and I go, ah! CBS had photographs. They had gotten photographs from somebody of showing.
Thank you all. I'm so grateful to receive this award with my fellow editors, Laura and Peter. Thank you to the National Academy of Television Arts and Sciences. I want to thank our directors, Laura and Mark, for bringing together this incredible team, but especially to thank Laura for spending countless hours with us in the edit room. I learned so much from you, and I'm grateful for your clarity of vision, your endless patience, and making me a better editor. Huge thanks to our team that's here, our associate editor, Anna, our assistant editor, Jesse, co-producer, Nora, our fact checker, Adam, our archival producer, Olivia, producer, Yoni, and everyone else who played a part in making this portrait of Cy and our country. Last but not least for me, thank you to Cy and Liz Hirsch. Cy's lifelong commitment to exposing our government's lies and crimes should be an example and inspiration for all of us. And I'm going to pass the mic to Laura.
It's an incredible honor to receive this and to be in the room with our colleagues, incredible documentary filmmakers that we love, and how proud we are to be in this community of people who stand up and call out abuse of power when they see it, and so it's really an honor. I need to thank Netflix for being great partners, and I want to encourage them to continue to support and acquire politically engaged documentary films. We dedicate, this film doesn't exist without Cy Hirsch. The reason there are 3 editors is because his body of work is so extraordinary and so massive, and what he's done to tell the truth about this country, and the importance of that, and the importance of investigative journalism to democracy and to the public, and we need to fight for it. One of the great threats that we're facing in journalism And the media is media consolidation. So please take the opportunity to stand up and try to block the merger that's happening between Warner Brothers and Paramount. It hurts all of us. It hurts the public. It will hurt consumers. It hurts everybody in this room and the public. And so, yeah, thank you for this. Bye.
The nominees in Outstanding Cinematography Documentary are Air Force Elite, Thunderbirds, Netflix, Heart of the Emperors, Secrets of the Penguins, Tailsmith, 2,000 Meters to Andreevka, Frontline Features, PBS, Pangolin, Kulu's Journey, Netflix, Surviving Black Hawk Down, Netflix, Underdogs, Wild Star Films.
And the Emmy goes to Heart of the Emperors, Secrets of the Penguins, Tailsmith.
Accepting the Emmy, Director of Photography, Bertie Gregory.
One last time, the leader steps forward.
Hey everyone. Who doesn't love a good bit of emotional manipulation using penguins? So yeah, this is an enormous honor, especially to share the stage with some of the cinematography team. Particular shout out to Pete and Alan, who spent 9 months non-stop down in Antarctica on a single shoot. They didn't leave the Emperor Penguin colony. They couldn't, even if they wanted to. So they didn't see their friends and family during that time, so thank you for that. That was incredible, so that we could all see part of the Emperor Penguin's breeding cycle that few people on Earth have. As cinematographers, of course, we're just the tip of the spear. We're part of an enormous team, so big shout out to all the logistics and safety teams and guides around the world that we work with, and scientists, and to Tailsmith, the production company we're working for, Ruth, Martin and Serena are here, amazing, thank you. And of course to our platform, National Geographic and Disney+, to Courtney, Tom, Janet, Pam, thank you for allowing us to do this and platform such an important group of animals. Last thing I'll say is, looking after the natural world isn't just something we should do because it's nice and penguins are cute. We humans, we benefit from a thriving natural world, so let's start acting like it. Thanks very much.
The nominees in Outstanding Writing Documentary are Bring Them Home, Esko Tagapyaya, Thunderheart Films, PBS, 2,000 Meters to Andreevka, Frontline Features, PBS, Songs from the Hole, Netflix, The Stringer, Netflix, Underdogs, Wild Star Films.
And the Emmy goes to Underdog, Wild Star Films.
Accepting the Emmy, writer Polly Billum.
You know who is excellent at balancing the books? Harvest mice. Yeah, not my first guess either. Not my 50th. Mrs. Ticklemouse here has got 8 babies hidden away in her cozy nest of grass. And she knows exactly how much she needs to gather to make sure they're warm.
It's a massive honor to get a writing award in a room full of such amazing storytellers, so thank you very much indeed. We made a comedy. We wanted to bring new audiences to natural history, and we hoped that was the way to do it. Of course, you don't really write a script for Ryan Reynolds. You just kind of toss balls at him and hope he knocks it out of the park. He's such a brilliant performer, and we couldn't have done it without him, so thank you very much to him. Thank you to Max and Meffa, our partners, Kathleen and Pierce, who wrote a lot of the jokes, Wild Star Films, and Nat Geo for taking a big risk and making something kind of different. Thanks very much.
Outstanding Giving direction, documentary are Apocalypse in the Tropics, Netflix. Katrina, Come Hell and High Water, Netflix. Life After, Multitude Films, PBS. 2,000 Meters to Andreevka, Frontline Features, PBS. Music Box, It's Never Over, Jeff Buckley. Topic Studios. Sally, Muck Media. The Stringer, Netflix. Vietnam, The War That Changed America, Apple TV.
And the Emmy goes to 2,000 Meters to Andreevka, Frontline Features, PBS.
Буде закріпити прапор. Ми красавці. Що ще? Хорошо.
We settle in the basement and artillery keeps hitting us. It's only now that
Mstislav very much intended to be here this evening, but due to a family emergency, he is unable to join us. And he asked that we, the film team, myself, Alex, Rainey, and people from Frontline and AP who are here tonight, accept the award on his behalf and also say these words. It is an honor to be included among these nominations. Thank you to the Emmys, to our team, to Frontline PBS, and to the Associated Press. I wish I could be with you there in the room tonight, but I am currently with my family during a time of need, and I'm deeply grateful for the ability to be by their side. Today, every day, Ukrainian cities are being attacked and civilians are being killed by missiles and bombs. They hide, they cover their children, they put out fires, and they fight back. This is what our film is about how, despite being attacked, despite being betrayed, Ukrainians have survived and they are no longer victims. They have agency, they have a voice. And the reason for this is the people in our films. They are the reason things have not fallen apart. Unfortunately, today, values that have held our world together, truth, compassion, and love, are often considered weaknesses. All of you in this room, my extraordinary colleagues, we have the power to refuse that. We can still show what it means to fight for justice, to show love, and to be a good human. That's how we survive. Thank you, colleagues, and thank you, dear team, for doing that.
Time for the moment we've all been waiting for, the halfway point. No, it's time for the Emmy for Best Documentary. You've seen clips of all 8 nominees tonight. Let's take one more look.
The nominees in Best Documentary are Black Snow, American Documentary, POV, PBS. Hurricane Katrina, Race Against Time. Lightbox. Life After, Multitude Films, PBS. Love and War, Little Monster Films. 2,000 Meters to Andreevka, Frontline Features, PBS. Prime Minister, Madison Wells. Turning Point, The Vietnam War, Netflix. Union, American Documentary, POV, PBS.
And the Emmy goes to Prime Minister Madison Wells.
See? Belly bump biscuits. Are you worried about your future milk production? Your lactation, hormone stores?
Well, don't make them so delicious.
And as you push and push, and then with the next contraction, and we encourage the head to come down to pop the shoulder free of here, and the baby will just slip out very easily and up onto
So easy.
and it just comes up here.
Well, we didn't prepare 2 speeches. Look, when you start out making documentaries, you hope that one day you could impact people and the planet for good. This level of recognition is beyond words, and I am so grateful to an enormous team who fought so hard to tell a story that focused on leadership, where kindness could sit alongside being resolute, where compassion could be effective. This story represented all of those things, that leadership can look really different and have amazing outcomes for the communities and the people that they serve. We want
to thank our distributors, which we failed to recognize before: HBO, CNN, Magnolia, Universal. Thank you. Thank you for believing in our film. Thank you for picking up a film about politics, about women's leadership. We made this film for our kids. My 2 daughters at home, I wanted a portrait of leadership for them that was meaningful, that was different from what we're seeing now. I'm so grateful to this incredibly talented team that came together from 2 countries to make this film. Thank you for this recognition.
I hope you don't mind indulging me. I really would love to have Clark Gayford and his husband just say a few words.
It's just amazing to be here, and I wouldn't be able to go back to New Zealand if I didn't thank my wonderful, beautiful, tolerant wife, who inadvertently became the person that we made the documentary about, because she got a promotion at work, and I found myself in an unusual position, and then she didn't say no enough. She definitely said no sometimes, but not enough. But also, I'd like to thank everyone in New Zealand who, back in 2017, made a decision that has gone on to act as a blueprint and a beacon for other people all around the world, that if you vote for good people, then good things can happen. Thank you.
That's it for the documentary portion of the 47th Annual News and Documentary Emmy Awards. Congratulations to all the winners and nominees. Thanks again to our presenting sponsor, YouTube, and thank all of you for joining us. Good night.
In all categories, the News and Documentary Emmy Awards are evaluated by members of the National Academy of Television Arts and Sciences and other qualified industry peer professionals. Judging is conducted securely online. Prior to announcement, results are known only to the independent accounting firm of Lutz & Carr, LLP. Full competition rules and guidelines are available at enter.theemmys.tv.